It'll come back. It'll come back. It'll come back.
Where?
There.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see there.
Alright, first questions first. Is there weird staticky noise?
That's a good question. How's the audio, everybody?
It shouldn't, but I ask anyway.
Just to be sure, because the XLR cables have been weird.
I'm going to assume that everything is honky-dory.
Honky-dory?
Yeah, honky-dory.
Honk. Yeah, Alyssa says it's good.
Cool.
Honk. Honk.
Yeah.
Honk. Hey, look, it's Edgeworth.
Alrighty.
Oh no, she's back.
Hi, Boom Boom.
Hello. I'm not done with yours.
Boomer, you know I'm trying to stream. If I play with you, it's gonna make a whole bunch of noise for chat, like this.
Oh, now there's absolutely going to be static. Nothing about static yet.
Alright, cool.
All right, so last we left off, Edgeworth came back. Edgy boy.
Yep, and he said we're going to need his help.
At some point. So, yeah, let's talk to him.
Nah, I'm good.
Why?
I thought we already talked to him.
Oh, yeah, we did talk to
Yeah.
him already. So I don't remember if there's anything else we could do with
Unless
him
we could
or not.
present stuff to him, but honestly, I don't remember jack all about this case so far.
All right, so essentially, there was a rivalry between two TV stars, and
That's right, and it was tied to like the Steel Samurai, but now it was like the
yeah, it's the Nickel Samurai versus the
Singing
Jammin'
Ninja.
the Jammin' Ninja.
Yeah, that's right.
And the guy who plays the Jammin' Ninja was murdered, and the guy who plays the Nickel Samurai is suspected of being the murderer, and he's currently your client.
Right, and Maya got kidnapped by some dude that is forcing us to make that we have to clear his name in one case day.
Yeah, and he said he claims to call himself the Killer.
The killer.
So this is a big case.
Oh, the detention center did have updates.
Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, there he is. Ah, lawyer dude. So, what did you find out?
I forgot he was a surfer, but honestly, that kind of fits.
Yeah, that's what we went for.
Well, I'm still in the middle of investigating.
I see. But I've already told you everything I know, dude.
Have you? Can you tell me about your activities last night?
After I got the award, I took a break and went back to my room. I had that post-ceremony stage show to do, so I was in my Nickel Samurai costume.
And you were alone the entire time.
My manager was running around being busy, so yeah.
Because of the press conference you were supposed to hold after the show.
I told you, dude, I have no idea about a press conference, alright?
That's strange. I thought the Nickel Samurai was going to confess something.
But anyway, when I was leaving my room, that's when I noticed it was kind of noisy.
Mr. Corda was already dead at that time.
Yeah, that's what I gathered anyway from my manager.
I'm beginning to gather that this guy can't do a thing on his own.
And that's when the detective in green coat showed up. He searched me and then, like, out of the blue, the dude arrested me.
Dude!
Bruh.
About you and the victim, Mr. Juan Carita. What sort of...
That's not nothing to do with anything, dude. Man, with the face of his, you can't even tell he's the same age as me. They wanted to try and make a Jammin' Ninja movie, even though we all knew it'd fail.
Damn. The Nickel Samurai still won in the end, right?
Yeah, I took the Grand Prix by storm. So why would I, the winner, have any reason to kill the guy anyway? Dude, you think it'd be like the other way around, you know?
What if he was killed because Juan was planning on killing him? It's an interesting perspective.
That would be an interesting perspective. Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Dude, I know I like to throw money around, but it's not like I buy anything and everything.
That's nice because it's not up for sale anyway. Okay. I just wanted to see
if he would react to it. Yeah, I gotcha.
That's right. We got Lotta's camera.
I think that's just an entry about it, but I don't think we've actually found it yet.
Okay, but we need to track it down.
Yeah, because it might have something to do with something.
Okay. I don't know if there's anything we need to present to this guy.
Not that I know of.
Oh, that's right. We got the information about Celeste.
Oh yeah, because she was Juan
Carita's manager.
She was Andrew's mentor
And Carita's manager. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the link between the manager and them. So yeah, let's try going back to the hotel.
Hello.
I forgot about you, honestly.
Yep, she's here.
God, there's so many directions you have to go.
There's so many people that we can talk to.
On
Holy
guard.
shit.
Yes, you. You're the one I'm looking for. This one.
The manager?
Yes.
Looks like Miss Andrews isn't here.
Ah, dicks. That's not good. I still have a few questions I want to ask her.
And she has that psych lock on her heart, right?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to start prying at. Well, don't have much of a choice. I guess we'll have to come back later.
Balls.
Balderdash. Which means she's going to pop up somewhere else. And then you didn't have anything new.
Let's see, let's try here again. Because we came in here, we found a few clues.
There's like a bajillion bears.
Yeah, look at all that bear. There's a lot of bears.
Was that robot bear there earlier?
Yeah. Yeah, the little robot bear.
He was?
Yeah,
Okay.
we pointed it out last time.
I couldn't remember.
Bear.
Alright, so nothing new looks like there's anything in here. So who would I need to talk to?
Astronomical amount of bear.
To progress time.
Let's see, because I mean, this is why I was a little. This is why it was weird to end the last session in the middle of an investigation.
Yeah.
Because now we're trying to figure out, okay, what were we doing?
Right.
So.
Okay. So that was the scandal thing.
Also, hey, Leah.
Okay, so she's just calling us delinquents again.
As she would.
Yeah.
She likes to call us that.
Alright, I have an idea. I think I need to go here, and then I can go to the detention center.
Just for the purpose of making sure that I can...
I want to ask you about Celeste. Oh, the music cut out.
He reacted. What? What's wrong? How much do you know?
Oh, shit.
Okay, that's interesting.
Well, what do you mean, how much?
Mr. Lawyer, I may be your client, but I hope you'll keep yourself out of my personal life.
What? What? What?
Okay.
No, I would never.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lunch appointment I have to keep.
You're in jail. Yeah, you're in detention. Who in the world are you going to eat with? The security guard?
Mr. Nick?
This Celeste Impacts lady. Somehow, I get the feeling she's a very important person in all this. Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let me guess. She's back now. I bet she's back. Damn it!
Damn it.
All right. Well.
Well, for the sake of making sure I can get us on the right track, I'm gonna do some little research.
I'm gonna
here.
go to Edgeworth.
All right.
Edgeworth, help me.
So, you needed my help after all.
Tell me about Celeste.
I have no interest.
All right, so that's just useless evidence. Okay. I presented the wrong thing. All right. Celeste impacts.
This woman is another key to solving this case.
This is the face I make when people pee in my Cheerios.
Which they do a lot.
I
Because
eat them because I'm British.
Why do you still eat your Cheerios? Because I'm British.
That has nothing to do with anything.
You can't welcome the morning without saying Cheerio. Do you really think so?
Of course. Why could you not have a morning without Cheerios?
It's uncivilized.
She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago. But she was suddenly called away by a different show and became Juan Corrida's manager.
Ah.
And then a few months later, Celeste Impacts died.
But her death was ruled a suicide, right?
Yes. But there is still one riddle we've yet to solve.
A riddle?
Her suicide note. It went missing. No one could find it.
A suicide note that just vanished, huh? Interesting.
Maybe you can talk to
Look at yourself.
We are looking into leads, but we can only look into a few key players with our limited resources. There's no reason for us to waste our energy investigating this person.
Why don't you just tell it to me straight and say, I don't have any info?
Jerk.
I love showing
I wanted
people
to see if he had
themselves.
like some info on the suicide note. Talk. No, talk. See if anything unlocked.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Miss Impact's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that there is no mistake.
Okay.
However, we could not find her suicide note.
That's usually not how that happens, but okay.
And that's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it.
The suicide note? But how do you know Miss Impacts had even written such a note?
There is no solid evidence, however. We did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high.
Oh, well, that makes sense. But who would hide such a thing?
The police think it was Mr. Juan Corrida himself.
Oh, the victim.
He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note.
Damn. Mr. Corrida hid his own manager's suicide note. But why?
As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over.
It's the suicide note.
I had it.
Little did they know.
That I found it ages ago.
I made a copy in triplicate ages ago before it was written.
I'm a time traveler.
I'm that prepared, biatch.
I went back in time and found it before he found the body and copied it. This is a suicide report, part 1 anyway.
You'll have to come back for part 2 once I finish writing it.
I wonder what will happen next.
I think I'm going to follow Mr. Martin's advice and just never publish the last bit. Leave everyone guessing.
Make everybody wait over 2 decades for the next book, and then I just never write it.
And then we'll make a TV series and wing it, because honestly, I just have writer's block.
Let those bastards finish it for me.
We're gonna crowdsource the whole thing so it doesn't cost me a dime.
You're gonna go on the GoFundMe.
And if the fans don't like it, I can say, well, you funded it.
This is your project that you funded. You are the publisher.
You should have taken better care about where you spent your money. God, that would be the most fucked up thing ever.
Just somebody starts a Kickstarter campaign, and then the game comes out, and everybody hates it, and they're like, "This game sucks." It's like, well, you all funded
you
it.
funded it. God, that would be so messed up. Part 1.
Suicide
Okay.
report. Deceased Celeste impacts found by Honk, where it was her suicide note.
Okay.
So now you have new evidence.
All right, now let's see if we can find her. And then the hallway, and then the room, and she's still not here. Damn it!
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you try presenting the suicide report to Edgeworth to see if he has anything else to say?
That's no fun.
But then that you could get more information.
That's no fun.
I want to keep guessing if she's gonna be back yet.
Yeah.
I don't like to look through reports. I like suicide reports even less. First of all the reports that have multiple parts like that one. This has 2.
That's one too many. I don't have time.
I don't have time for 2 parts. I only have time for 1.
I'm just going to wait for the TV series to come out and watch that and assume it's everything that is in the book.
And then when everybody says that it's nothing like the book and they complain about it, I can just say, well, it's enough like the book to me.
The show did it better.
Who wants to read the book anyway? The book is a lot, but you have to read and pay attention to what you're reading.
Maybe if they did like an animated comic book, it would be a nice middle ground that everyone would like.
My goodness, if only more people would take up that advice.
Anyway. I don't know why. What is it about Edgeworth that makes us wax philosophical about BS? It's that longing stare he has.
It's that longing stare and the voice.
Yeah.
Just that drawling voice of his.
2 parts?
What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here is the second part.
Why didn't you just give me this? If you had both, why didn't you just give them to me?
Because I like to fuck with you.
Second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. The attempter's name is Adrian Andrews. Miss Andrews? What did she do?
She tried to kill herself. She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try to kill herself, though.
You think she's a strong career woman? That's just what she wants you to think.
Yeah, she's like one of them geese. Very graceful and well composed on the outside, but underneath the water, it's just flapping feet.
Adrian Andrews, she has a certain secret she's always trying to hide.
How do you know it?
A secret?
Her dependent nature. That's what she's really like on the inside.
Well, I mean, everybody likes to depend on people at times, you know?
Yeah, but she's like extra dependent. Like she tries to make her. What he's basically saying is she tries to make herself seem independent and career driven when on the inside she's actually like very clingy and dependent on other people to take care of her.
Huh.
So she's trying to hide that and get away from it, essentially.
Interesting. So she puts on a strong front so people don't think that about her.
Going to check to see if she's back yet again.
Yep. Balls!
You could have presented Adrian Andrews' profile to Edgeworth.
That's no fun.
I'm going to go back there after every single conversation with Edgeworth to see if she's back yet.
Yeah, why not? Just I imagine like Phoenix just like, hang on, Edgeworth, I got an idea. Is she back? No, damn it. Edgeworth, she wasn't there.
Of course she wasn't there, you blasted idiot.
I can't miss her. I gotta ask her about this suicide note. I have more information.
I have information that can help you.
It's like, hold on, Edgeworth. I have an idea.
How do you keep bringing up Adrian Andrews? She holds a large secret within herself.
A secret?
You can't help but feel that this whole case revolves around her.
It's that she's secretly Samus Aran, and she's a space bounty hunter. She can curl up into a ball.
You know, now that you mention it, she does look like Samus.
Yeah, long blonde hair, blue skin tight suit.
Like, yeah, like looking at it, it looks like Samus with glasses.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah, this is like her Clark Kent disguise.
Yeah, this is just Samus in disguise. Like, I'm totally not a bounty hunter.
Well,
try to go to top. Okay.
oh,
yep.
Dependent nature. Why is it at the top? What's this about Miss Andrews having a dependent nature?
Adrian Andrews' attempted suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Impax.
And?
And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide?
Because she was dependent on her sister.
On her mentor.
Oh, that. Right.
Yeah. Because she had apparently lost her will to live.
Lost her will? But why would she?
Her pillar of strength, her mentor Celeste Impax, was gone forever. That's why.
Well, why would that?
Is this what they call following someone to the grave?
How do you know about that?
I mean, she is growing up with a bunch of mediums, so I would imagine there's a lot of talk of the dead, you know?
You know what? That's fair.
After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can trust absolutely. And once she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Without such an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live.
Damn.
And that... Oh, that's Phoenix.
And that's the nature of her dependency on others?
When Celeste Impax suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself.
Then that means her super confident attitude.
It's all a facade.
Look at that squiggly sea. It's got like a pigtail.
Yes, it's a very squiggly sea. It's
Adorable.
It's a very fat sea because it's got a little pigtail. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together.
How terrible.
So now you have, I think...
I gotta go.
I'll be right back.
I gotta go. Oh no, not talking to you. No, I want to. I'm trying to go over here.
Wait, what's that?
Hi, Lion Man. I gotta go over here. Hi, Lotta. It's okay. I gotta go over here. Yes.
Why does he keep putting past us over and over again? Oh, Miss Andrews is here. But it looks like she's talking with someone.
Who? That's Franziska von Karma.
Miss Von Karma?
What are you doing here? Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so you've got some nerve following me around. Following you?
That's you, Miss Von Karma. You're the one following.
Pearls?
You're always following after that Mr. Detective with the little beard.
Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. Let me show you something interesting, little girl. Uh-oh.
What is that?
An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective. And with this, I know that fool's every move. That noise we heard was his receiver. I feel really sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now. Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah, it is messed up.
Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews,
Yes.
think hard about what we just discussed. Understood?
All right.
What were those two talking about?
Miss Andrews, she seemed a little dazed, doesn't she?
So I don't think she's gonna do anything until we Magatama her.
I don't think so, no. I think that's what you need to do.
Alright, let's save.
Just to be sure.
Because this one's the big one.
It's the big one.
This one's for all the cannolis.
All of the cannoli-nolies.
And this is probably gonna be the hardest one in the game, if I had to imagine.
I guess we'll find out.
Unless there's one that has like 5 Psylocks.
We shall find out.
Why was one Corrida murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. Angard's life in danger by your actions?
Why do you ask questions for which I have no answers? Truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Corrida.
You were not that close.
That's right. I've never been good at being intimate with another person.
You are not that good at being intimate with another person. Somehow I highly doubt that.
So now you have to provide evidence that she was close to Corrida.
Yeah.
Which you do have evidence.
Nope, that's not
That's
it.
not it. Go to the next page. Not that one. The newspaper clip.
Yeah, this one.
So make sure you check it first to be sure.
Ooh. Yeah, beautiful manager. Yeah, AA.
Yep. So there you go.
Yeah. You and Mr. Corrida had an intimate relationship, did you not?
A silly third-rate tabloid article. Even had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish.
Well, it seems quite a few people have already bought into this story.
As to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars.
Note to self, stay on her good side.
In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that.
I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone?
Me need to get close to Mr. Corrida, as if there was ever such a need.
Didn't you get close to Mr. Corrida for this person's sake?
You know which person.
Mr. Lion Man.
The Lion Man.
This one.
Yeah.
Celeste in Pax, your mentor. I was about to say monitor, and it did not work out quite well.
How do you know about Celeste?
I am really good at snooping. Miss Impax, she committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Oh, you are starting to perspire. You should probably have somebody look at that. It's very big and visible.
It's very clear.
Right before her death, she was Juan Corrida's manager. So I believe you got close to Mr. Corrida so you could find out more about her suicide.
You have a great imagination.
Thank you. I let it run wild.
You may have a future yet as a slimy muckracker for a putrid third-rate tabloid.
Yeah, she's starting to bust out the name calling because she's on the defensive. Miss Andrews.
There was no mystery surrounding her death. None. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing.
Is that really true? Was there really no mystery at all? I don't believe you are completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved. Because these...
Yeah.
The suicide note hidden? Question mark. Ha-ha! Miss Impact's suicide note was never found, was it?
Ooh.
It looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Corrida.
Juan?
And Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That is why you became intimate with Mr. Corrida. Ooh!
I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough.
No.
That's his only response. It's true that Celeste was my mentor. However, allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others.
That's the impression you like to give. However, I don't think that's who you really are.
What?
I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste Impacts was someone very special to you.
Let's see.
The attempted murder, right? Or the suicide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reason Schick from Celeste impacts a suicide.
Yeah. Miss Andrews, you nearly went through with it too, didn't you?
Went through with what?
Ending your life. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying only on yourself. That's the one.
Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember.
However, that is all just a lie. A facade with a cute piggy tail. You've always searched out people on whom you can depend on. You were dependent on Miss Impacts, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had.
Stop!
Uh-oh.
When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note.
You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Mr. Corrida of hiding Miss Impacts' note. You heard about it and thought to recover it from him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes.
What do you mean?
What topic did we start this conversation on again?
It was why was the victim killed?
Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the one with a reason to want Mr. Corrida dead.
Me?
Miss Impacts was everything to you. And then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder.
Murder?
Ooh. Ooh. We did it.
Motive for murder.
Tell me.
It's true. I am a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small, and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence. I've pushed against all that, though I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Miss Andrews,
Aww.
this one thing is the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret, mine and mine alone.
I'm sorry.
You probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you?
No, everybody has to rely on other people at some point. That's just life. Please, Miss Andrews. All I want to know is the truth.
After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden her suicide note. And that someone was Juan Corrida. Celeste, without her I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me.
So you got close to Mr. Corrida to recover her suicide note, correct?
Looks like that tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it?
Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire.
And if they purposely add fuel to the fire, they keep the celebrity world burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so...
I understand.
Oh, I have one small favor to ask.
Uh-oh.
My attempted suicide. I'd like for you to keep it a secret. Miss Andrews,
You know what? That's fair.
if people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live.
All right. I understand. We'll keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, I guess she's the overthinking type. She probably never says anything without carefully thinking it through first.
Thank you for your discretion. Mr. Nick, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back.
That card? Yeah, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, what is that card you're holding?
Huh? Oh, this? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag.
And you've just been fiddling with it. What is it? It looks like a seashell?
That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from.
And you've just been fiddle-faddling with it this entire time. Her not remembering something clearly sounds like it would be a rare occurrence, yeah.
Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. Ungard in your capable hands. So yeah, remember last session when you actually pointed out, like, what is that card she's fiddling with?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more important than you thought. But you gotta wait to find out why.
She's allergic to seafood. I've solved the case. Well, I think we've gathered all we can.
What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
That's okay. She can polymorph into an ogre or something. Oh, Pearl, she looks so worn out by all this.
Yeah, just becomes an ogre and just tears the killer apart.
Yeah, just I'm going to channel the spirit of an Oni. I mean, it would technically work for her.
Yeah, the killer's just like, oh dear.
Shit.
This is a problem.
She hasn't slept at all and has been walking all over the place with me today.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right?
Oh, no. I'm okay, really. I'm fine. I really am.
You don't look fine to me. Give her a piggyback ride.
Yeah, piggyback like her on your shoulders and take her home.
All right, back to the office.
So, what now?
We read chat. What's chat saying?
I was waiting for you to say something. Let's see. I hear Celeste was a good game.
Yep. I've always wanted to try playing that one.
Leah says, "No, Adrian, be small but mighty." Yeah, because Leah's also tiny. In fact, that Reich gets a whole new accent when he uses the
Magatama.
Magatama.
Yeah.
Is scary, which I love that. I mean, you don't fiddle with random things you find in places they weren't before. They made Pearls too adorable.
Yeah.
I need artwork of Phoenix Wright giving a piggyback ride for Pearls. She's my child.
There you go. I like that.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there is art out there of that.
Quick, to Google.
To Google image search. Go.
Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive.
You mean Miss Impact's suicide note?
That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever. Oh no, it's Miss Von Karma. She's coming.
Mr. Nick, the transceiver.
Beep. Hello? Wright and Co. Law Offices?
Mr. Attorney, you're not answering a phone.
Maya! Where's Maya?
As I promised, I have not gone within a few feet of her after this whole time.
She had a potty break. You have to let her out every few hours.
Which is why, I suppose, she's absolutely famished.
What?
So I suggest you win a quick acquittal, my friend.
Oh, you bastard. You haven't been taking care of her.
At any cost. Wouldn't you agree?
Wait, Maya! Let me hear her!
Very well.
Ask my
Maya, is that you?
sis. Ask my sis.
Maya! Maya! Damn it. Cut me off.
Mystic Maya said ask my sis, didn't she?
Sis? What does she mean by that? She doesn't have a sister.
Yeah, she does.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, hopeless one.
Sorry? Ah!
Yay!
Mia! Mamma mia!
Maya Mia!
I have a message from Maya. So come, ask me anything you want about her.
Okay. How's Maya?
She's safe, for now. A kidnapper is one to keep his word, it seems.
I'm glad to hear she's safe. But Mia, how did you know?
As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left. Then I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could.
I didn't know you could use spirit channeling like that. Pretty smart of her. Makes
Actually,
sense.
Yeah, that actually is pretty smart.
Yeah.
Like writing a note explaining what's going on, then call her.
The kidnapper! What's he like? Is he handsome? I mean...
Is he more handsome than me?
Oh my god, he's hot!
I don't know.
Apparently Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was dragged there.
And?
She didn't see the face of her attacker.
Ah!
Maya's locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard when I was with her.
When you were with her.
Date,
Ooh.
wah. Time, wah. Location, wah.
I'm starving. Could really go for some apple pie.
Hell yeah. That sounds great right now.
Yeah, I could go for that too, Maya.
I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not gonna die. Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now.
Hey, a note.
Huh? Someone dropped a card here.
That card.
That card. It kind of looks like a business card, but there's no name on it.
It's a calling card.
It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What a strange card.
AA is the killer.
The killer's calling card.
The killer.
There's all sorts of things piled up here, but it's too dark to see.
Okay.
Drat, it's locked. This door's lock seems easy enough to open.
TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. Then, click, they magically open the door. Wonder if there's a card like that around here I could use. Ah, that's it! The shell card!
Yeah.
If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius. Alright, now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. I did it! Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting or worried.
Oh, so she got out.
Well, she's attempting to get out. So
It sounded like she opened the door.
we'll see if she managed to get out.
Huh. Okay.
Alright, on to the next day.
She just shows up at court. Hi. Ah!
I'm not kidnapped anymore. Adrian did it?
That's what it looks like.
Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that.
In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you.
A mountain of evidence?
I am certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you.
Please, Mr. Lawyer, dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that.
I understand.
Well, it's almost time. Who is that? Ah, it's me.
Hi. Mia.
We must get a complete acquittal today.
When are you going to give us back our 5-year-old? I know,
You'll get her back eventually.
but I can't focus on my situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of today.
Indeed. Well, let's get going.
Uh-oh. It's him. This is right.
Good morning. This is the attorney. The day of the trial.
Maya, she's unharmed, right?
Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry. People don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial.
Grr.
For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning.
Present? I love presents. What in the world would you want to give me? I hope it's flowers.
You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please.
Wait! The kidnapper sent me a present.
Mr. Lawyer, dude, who was that?
No one. It was nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything.
Dude, did your nose just get longer?
You calling me Pinocchio, punk?
I didn't realize that Pinocchio was real. I didn't know he was my lawyer.
I didn't know Pinocchio had 3 movies in like the same year.
What's up with that, bro?
Bam.
Court is now in session for the trial of Matt and Guard. Are the prosecution and defense ready?
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
What?
Well, guess the defense wins.
I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma?
I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me?
Your Honor!
Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it?
Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman.
What the hell?
What?
Shot?
Somehow, I think this is the present that the man was talking about.
Oh, shit.
Oh boy.
His present?
Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage.
This is totally insane. Miss Von Karma, is she all right?
I don't have that answer.
She's alive and in stable condition.
That's good. Phew. You're...
I thought he'd show up.
Your Honor.
This witness stand looks kind of tiny for my broad-ass shoulders, don't you think?
I'm quite large for it.
I'm huge.
Due to the circumstances, Miss Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally.
You're standing at the wrong desk, Edgeworth. You're kind of rusty.
He's back!
Yay!
Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Uncard.
The court acknowledges the prosecution.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year.
It was the Bahamas, wasn't it?
You're damn right. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer.
And that's you have to peanut every colada.
A lot of pina coladas. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand.
You have a tracker on you?
Just letting you know. Witness, your name and occupation.
My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. For now.
For now?
After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. Detective Gumshoe?
The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness.
Damn.
Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight.
Yeah. It would have to be with Edgeworth. It would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth.
All right, the bear facts.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Let's see. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Carina, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, that's the one, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder.
After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room.
Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone into their rooms, sir.
I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Was there an exorbitant amount of bears with the bear fact of
I
this
want
case?
to know about the bears. The bears are important.
Yep. Alright, press everything. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal, the ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m., and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start at the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct?
Which is to say the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period.
Please continue with your testimony, Detective.
Give me a break.
Break me off a case of that Kit Kat bar.
The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah.
Who is this Adrian Andrews you talking about?
She's the defendant Matt on Guard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir.
Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence.
When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. On Guard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir.
I see. And that's when she found the victim's body.
Yep. Alright. He was definitely murdered. The cause of death. Wasn't that because Mr. Carita was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Look at that. It's a butter knife. Couldn't stab anybody with that thing.
Exactly. There's no way.
Take a good hard look at this crime photo. He clearly died because he was tired. Look at him sludged over.
He died from exhaustion.
You don't breathe in that suit. He probably sweat himself crazy.
I mean, just look at it.
Now, real pro's attention would be drawn here to this bandana.
Banana?
Well then, me and the judge are on the same wavelength, and I don't know how I feel about that. His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir.
Ah, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana.
Then, what about the knife? It seems to have been stuck into the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
We have a crafty murderer on our hands here.
I mean, they were probably trying to pop off one of them their buttons so they could stick it in Whoosy What's Its leg pants.
Yeah, to pin the weight on someone else.
Yep.
All right, autopsy report. Time of death, 8:15 p.m. Cause, strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife.
That's kind of brutal.
Yeah? Ouchies.
Alright. What about the guitar case? Tell me. Why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. The German Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
We thought of that too, but the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh? Then where's the guitar?
I see. So much for that theory, then.
Empty. There is some water, but only on top of the lid. Bears Corridus fingerprints.
Bear!
Bears.
They're just going to keep shoving bears into this as much as they can.
Yeah, including literally shoving a whole shit ton of bears into a single hotel room.
I love this case. Alright, had nothing to do with the murder. Why? What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case?
Bears, pal.
Guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it?
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Carita, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
You mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yep, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with that case after all.
I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his banana.
Damn, that just sounds weird saying his banana that way.
Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on Guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him.
Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing.
Oh boy.
Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir. They can't fire Detective Gumshoe.
Yeah, he's Detective Gumshoe. You can't get away with it. He's the best detective ever.
Yeah. Matt on guard and Juan Carita were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off of the ninja costume and was found in Mr. On Guard's Hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
Wait.
So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir.
Bears the victim's blood and Unguard's fingerprints in the grip. Gatewater is engraved.
Yep. And there's this button.
I already see a contradiction, but we'll keep going.
That was found in the defendant's clothes, wasn't it? And this button also covered in blood?
Yes, and we know that the blood of it is on the it's the victim's blood.
What?
Was ripped from his costume, is covered in Corda's blood.
Yep.
All the points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right?
I'll find the hole in your argument somehow.
You can press as hard as you like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Yeah, I already know what the contradiction is.
Why? And
Dude.
what's that?
The question is, do you know what it is?
The button. And then fingerprints. And it's been bought knife with the crime, which makes this premeditated murder. But it's that he didn't buy it. He didn't buy it. He was eating at the Gatewater. It was like a staff knife. There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. Sorry, pal. This isn't some bucket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either. Well, this is not good. Prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder. We're done for.
Phoenix?
Yes?
Something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late.
A button covered in the victim's blood, and a knife with Mr. Onguard's fingerprints.
Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing.
We're still in the world of trouble.
Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So, let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix?
Okay.
So, you already figured out the contradiction.
Yeah, but now I have to present something, I guess.
Yeah, go to the last statement. You had it. You figured it out. Go to the last one. This one, yeah.
But
Now look at the knife in the evidence.
Yeah, Gatewater's
In the
engraved.
grip, Gatewater is engraved. So that's the contradiction.
Yeah. Wait a second! What? So the basis of your argument was that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand. That's right, pal. The defendant, did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh?
It has a Gatewater seal set in the handle.
Gatewater. I think I heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh.
Yeah, now he gets it.
The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated.
Wait. Yes, this is very true. This is very big.
He.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless.
What?
I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined.
How so?
I admit this knife is hotel property. There's no one currently in the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this.
But
The question is, where did this knife come from?
Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Corrina's room.
Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect.
Look at them bears.
The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table.
He has his own knife.
There is a knife and a fork on the table. Then,
What's Boomer doing? Oh, I think she's trying to get your attention.
Oh, Bumbler. I thought you said Boomer.
Yeah.
What's up? Sure.
Okay.
There you go. I'll be back.
Well, I don't want to get through the dialogue while you're away.
Get through the dialogue while I'm away.
I will not. I will not. I will not do such a thing. You ought to experience this game.
I'll shoot you with a Nerf gun.
Then shoot me with a Nerf gun. You were doing medicine for your doggy. That's what you were doing. Doggo medication, yeah. Doggo medication, yeah. How you doing, chat? Hello, chat. I am talking to you. I am talking to you in the voice of Edgeworth. Hello. How was your day today? I hope you had a wonderful day. Horny. Just a really long, drawn-out version. Just Yay! Ah! I have been shot with Nerf.
That was actually a good shot.
It literally, it went like right over my shoulder and directly into the center. Like it literally hit here. That was like perfectly shot.
Hell yeah.
You barely didn't touch me with that shot at all, and it landed perfectly square between the legs. Chat. He shot me with a Nerf gun. I don't know how to feel about this. It was premeditated. Completely.
Alrighty then.
where in the world did this knife come from?
The manufacturing plant.
If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt on guard.
Yep.
He's pointing everything out for us,
Yep.
especially what was on top of his table.
Yeah, I already pointed that out.
There's something.
Well, that's not the judge. There's something missing. Perhaps It is a single knife.
Le gasp.
We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Onguard's knife was missing. Mr. Onguard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course.
It's a butter knife. You can't kill with that.
And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Well,
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction.
seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning.
Yep. It's supposed to be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it.
A minor weapon with fingerprints and a button with the victim's costume. There's quite sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court.
Evidence not yet shown.
It means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well...
Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here...
that gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court?
No, not right now. I'm good.
Are you sure you want to say
Yeah,
that?
no, I pretty much have to at this point.
Yeah,
All right,
Edgeworth is calling you out.
Yep. Alright. There's one. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one.
What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here.
If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. It's curtains.
Coitins for your Rocky.
Oh god, look at that bar.
Oh shit.
They're not kidding.
Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court?
This tracker on Gumshoe.
Well, I mean, that's not his tracker, but
Yeah.
Anyway, what is the thing that he wants you to show everybody?
Was it
Thank you, Boomer.
was it the wine glass?
Thank you, Boomer.
Hello.
Yeah, good girl. I don't know if it's the wine glass.
I don't think it would be any of the profiles though.
Because, like, I will point out that,
Is it the gossip with Adrian Andrews? Because that would be the...
no, because that goes into different territory. Because we got to stay focused on what we're talking about right now, which is what happened in the hotel.
Yeah.
So, I'm wondering if it is the guitar case or the wine glass.
Well, we have the guitar case that was mentioned. They already said it wasn't relevant to the case, so it would have to be the wine glass. Because that would be the new evidence.
Next to the victim, it's no sign it had been drunk, and it was completely undisturbed, too. I don't know what they're looking for here. I don't know.
I think it's the wine glass. I'm going to go with the wine glass.
All right. I mean, you saved your game, so
Yeah.
I mean, you could try it.
Wine glass.
This is a wine glass, is it not?
Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken. His makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Well, yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is in this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do y'all have to say?
Well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth?
What is it, Your Honor?
Your opinion.
You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass.
What?
It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? No.
You don't think so?
Yeah. Why would she walk past the body and then set her glass down?
Well, she could have walked in while carrying the glass and set it down when she discovered the body. That's kind of what they're going for.
If you had just discovered a dead body, wouldn't you probably drop your drink instead of carefully set it down?
I mean, everybody is different. I mean, maybe she did.
Yeah.
You know? Who knows?
Earlier on they were hinting that she's not the type to do something without thinking. So I'm going with there's no way.
Okay.
She's too calculated. If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty.
They just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough.
The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. I used the wrong voice.
Yes.
Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He was just bluffing.
Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have evidence to support it.
Ah! What?
You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice?
Then...
Of course it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints.
Fingerprints?
There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they?
There were none. They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one of Adrian Andrews.
What? Uh-oh.
Oh boy. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright?
Can't believe I fell into another trap.
Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corrida. But upon seeing the dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
What you just said makes a lot of sense.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Now do you see, right? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. I thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover.
Don't you finger waggle me.
Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from.
Another witness?
Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness.
What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking?
Please don't let it be Wendy. Oh, God. I knew it.
No, it's Wendy. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and...
G-O-T-C-H-A. Gotcha.
I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier.
Oh, Edgy boy. It's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You shouldn't be more happy to see me.
I saw the report with her testimony. Who knew that under that helmet? It was the Wicked Witch of the Wicked Stand.
Wicked Witch of the Witness Stand, I love it.
I tell you, that is this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all the court needs to know.
Shush! Now, I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgy right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, ma'am.
No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness your testimony, please.
It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct or back?
It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It's almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Corrida.
But those two were the same age. But they didn't look the same age.
Yeah, and they don't act the same.
Yeah.
Probably.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of the room that night, his room that night.
Very well, please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo.
Please don't call me Edgy Poo.
Edgy Poo.
Never call me that again.
Okay, Edgy Poo. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since he was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was on guard. Matt on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
So Mr. Angard came out of the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
All right, well, start pressing.
Yep. Alright, what do we get out of Miss Old Bag? Miss Old Bag, what was your post on that night?
The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for the trifling show. But I refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai show. Hey, I even took out a few of the nails.
Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door. Alright. What did you want to find out? Something you were interested in, and just what was that?
It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. And Edgy Poo, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in?
I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor.
Gossip.
But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later. Looks like we shouldn't force it right now.
Yep.
And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Yep. Alright. Oh? Then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Kurita's room?
I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
So she doesn't even know her own age.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct?
I love Miss Oldbag.
She doesn't even know her own age.
Alright. Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room, it was. He was.
Yes, he was.
Ah, I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip right about now.
Well, I guess I can tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway. It was on guard, Matt on guard.
You saw my client. Are you sure about that?
Yes, sir.
Just that face when she says it. Just, yes, it. That's all.
Yep. Really?
Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person.
Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. That.
What was the person carrying?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. What was the man you saw carrying?
In which hand, his right or his left?
Um,
Ah, now this is a real mess. I mean, I can't be expected to answer such a vague question.
Indeed. Please be more specific with your question, Mr. Wright.
sorry. What was the man you saw carrying in his right hand?
Ah, he wasn't carrying anything in that hand.
Then how about his left?
Empty.
Well, this whole thing has been a lot of nothing.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
Probably not. I'm not sure.
He wasn't carrying anything.
I don't remember any evidence that would imply that was
No.
important.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Guess it really wasn't that important after all.
Mr. Wright, do you know why we say time is valuable? If not, I suggest you line.
You've wasted 3 minutes of this woman's youth. That's more valuable than gold to me.
Why do I suddenly feel old in the presence of all these childish whining?
She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying.
That's bad for us. Really bad.
But that's how the human mind is. It also has the tendency to jump off topic. She strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right?
That's because you're not the one who has to question her.
Well, there's other options we could look into on that last one.
Yeah. And that's what I want to do. Alright. Hey,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I said yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Person's clothes. Well, we know he was wearing the hakama.
Well, let's see what she has to say.
But if he was wearing the costume, would she have been able to see his thighs?
True. Because you
Thighs.
were fire.
Alright, let's go with clothes, and we'll go
When
with
you
face.
did that, it reminded me of a certain person whose name shall go unmentioned.
Ooh, really? Who?
You really want me to say the name?
I honestly no.
Think about it. Here's fire. You know who I'm talking about now?
Kind of. I'm like 50-50.
I don't want to mention his name for very specific reasons.
Give me like half.
Here's
I'm gonna go with Abraham Lincoln.
close.
Anyway, please tell the court more about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you are, really. As if something like that really matters.
But it does.
Now, what was it? Oh, yes. It was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing. That racing jacket.
Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center too. But wait!
He was in costume!
Yeah, that bug was in his Agama! Ah! That's a problem.
Yes, it is.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men.
Right.
So, Mr. Wright,
Pantaloons. What are they?
I want to know.
Are they pants or loons?
Tell me which was the loons. Was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
Yeah, that one was important.
Yeah, it was.
Of course it wasn't important, Your Honor.
Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important.
Don't you see it, Edgeworth? That's why I asked her to point it out. I don't see it. Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony.
I don't quite see where this is going, but all right, witness, please.
Oh, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must.
Yeah, alright. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket?
What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it.
She is so sure of herself that it's to the point of self-absorption.
She may not remember things or be mistaken here. Okay, she already said this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I know what you can.
Now
present
we can
there.
present on it, yeah.
Yeah, because I think you have a picture of him wearing his costume there.
Yeah.
Yep, right there.
Yeah, alright.
So
Present.
I think you have a picture of like him in the nickel samurai costume, not the crime photo.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
that one? Yeah,
This one.
yeah, that one. Oh, is that wrong?
Okay, maybe.
I'm sorry, but okay.
Alright.
So that wasn't it. Okay. Because I thought, 'cause he was wearing his thing that whole night. He said himself, like, multiple people
Though it was found in his Akama. Maybe we have to push the button.
was ripped from his costume, is covered in Corrida's blood.
And it was found in the
Bernard's
Hakama.
Hakama. Maybe that's it. Yeah, try
Yeah.
it.
There it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
Miss Old Bag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
Ah! It's a button number 2 on the Jabba Ninja's costume.
Button number 2.
Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this.
Wow, she really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. On Guard's body during a full body search.
See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal on guard.
It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Hakama pants.
See? See? And on guard is the nickel samurai.
Witness! Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt On Guard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
Well, shit.
Ah. I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, then maybe everything would go there. But instead, I was wearing this ridiculous costume with this outfit of cities, right? It's got tape going on my chest. Let me tell you, it's heavy. It's so heavy, I wish I could switch to CDs ages ago. I dream a lot for those kids, but it works. It's sad. Now take a look at the mirror. Your clothes are about as interesting as a documentary on curling. You did, oh, edgy poo.
Wham. Damn, you were keeping up pretty good.
I'm trying, man. It's so hard.
Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. On Guard, the man, but Mr. On Guard, the Nickel Samurai.
But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway.
Miss Old Bag, this is a very important point we're talking about.
Edgy poo, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering.
Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. That's
Wow.
not his job.
Now, witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
All right, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you.
Now, who I saw.
What did you say?
On guard. On guard. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai. That's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to be wearing his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
Actually, that's not possible.
Yep.
That last statement is a contradiction.
Yep. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
Ah, youngins today. I told you there's no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
So that.
At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. It was him, because I say so.
Meh.
That stare that she has right there.
Yeah.
I love it.
This one,
Yeah, that stare just...
yeah. She's like dead in the eyes, just like,
I think the reason why I love that stare is because it reminds me of when we were playing the last game and you're like, oh, Miss Old Man, we're coming to come and talk to the... Oh, she's mad. And she was looking at you like that.
Yep. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in the friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Jammin' Ninja.
Of course it included him. That's why when On Guard came out to dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway.
Alright. So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai.
As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet?
You don't need to think too hard on this one.
Huh?
There's a contradiction in her testimony and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us.
Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay.
Yeah, I already know what it is. Because if he was in his Hakama,
Yeah.
because like I said, so he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. I already know exactly what the contradiction here is. Bears his fingerprints.
Yeah.
If he was in costume, there's no way he would have left fingerprints
Yeah.
because he has gloves.
Yeah. So now will we present the knife?
I would say we present the knife.
Yeah, I think so. So, yeah.
That's what I think.
But he would have had fingerprints from when he ate dinner.
Wait, actually, you do have a good point. Yeah, that's fair. I didn't think of that. So,
But wouldn't there have been blood on his costume from the button?
Actually, yeah, that's another thing. Because if there's blood all over the button, wouldn't that blood have gotten onto his Hakama?
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't mentioned the state of the Hakama at all. Seems like the Nickel Samurai is to confess something after the post-ceremony show. So there was that press conference ticket.
Well, no, that wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, because that.
Because
Should I press more stuff, or because I don't really know what I would.
there is
show.
a trick. Well, I mean, Mia said that there's
It's
a contradiction.
already there, yeah.
There's already a contradiction. We just have to see it. I really think it has something to do with this one.
Yeah,
And I was thinking the knife and the fingerprints, but then you pointed out the button, and you also pointed out that the fingerprints could still be there from when he was eating dinner.
yeah, and that's why I'm just kind of like.
I mean, we do have plenty of health, and you can also save your game first.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could try throwing a couple of things at it to see what sticks. Because, like, pointing out that he was strangled rather than stabbed wouldn't really point out any contradictions.
Right, but she doesn't. She might not know that.
Right. Exactly. So that's why that doesn't matter.
It
here.
says, yeah, because she just knows about the stabbing.
I would say save your game and try to present the knife and the button. And see which one gets it.
So yeah, we'll do that.
I feel like it's got to be one of those two.
Yeah.
But try the button first.
That's all I can think of is either the button or the knife. But
Try
yeah.
the button first. Okay, so it's not the button.
All right.
So then try the knife next. See if it's the button. Not the button, the knife.
Okay, it was a knife.
Okay, yep. So it is the fingerprints.
All right. Please take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention at all.
Hey, that's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at?
That is exactly what I am driving at.
What exactly are we driving at? And whose car are we driving?
If Mr. On-Guard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on his knife right off.
Yeah, because he had gloves. The gloves would have wiped off his fingerprints.
That's true.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing.
And why would he do something like that, to leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that.
However, there is one possibility.
Then let's hear your possibility.
It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off.
But the murder still did take place.
It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim.
Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems? No. Whenever he first went over there, he had no intent to kill him. Right.
First one over there, he had no intent to kill
Yeah,
him.
there's no problems.
In his theory.
Yeah.
So,
No. I can't see any real problems with this theory.
if you let Edgeworth's theory stand, then we're one very large step closer to a guilty verdict.
Right.
Look at the court record again and take another shot at it.
Mr. Wright, please make your decision soon.
Goes like,
Okay, so there is
Okay.
some kind of problem with it.
no intention of killing him. I guess there is a contradiction then. If I said there's no problem, then it let me rethink it. And thinking about it one more time would just present it to myself again.
Yeah, so there's got to be a contradiction.
Yeah.
We're just not seeing it yet.
This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. I know what it is now.
What are you babbling about?
Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. On Guard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Because he brought a knife with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
This knife, this was used by Mr. On Guard at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was, in fact, the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corrida.
I suppose.
However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there would be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't have been all over it like bees on a hive. I like bees. They make honey.
Hello, bees.
And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Wham, wham, wham.
Ooh.
Order! Order! I say order in the court. Was the knife really planted by the killer?
I mean, why was he choked to death?
Why
and
would the murderer do such a thing?
to frame Matt on guard.
Yeah.
It's to frame my client, Mr. On Guard, of course.
To frame?
Are you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one?
Nope. Why was he stabbed after being strangled? But we just established that the witness saw the nickel samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife.
Witness!
Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, Edgeworth.
The witness! Did you or did you not really see the nickel samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but...
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. On Guard with the nickel samurai, his character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around at the front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the nickel samurai, that's for sure.
But you wasn't waiting for the nickel samurai. All right, then, who were you waiting around for then?
That's top secret for anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corrida. Am I correct, witness?
The way you think you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
So, Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida.
Maybe, Phoenix. Maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person.
Yep, I think I know who she's hinting at. Miss Old Bag. You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? It was her.
Oh, yeah, because of the gossip.
Yep.
Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. On Guard's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
Oh, I see.
The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
And this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's... Adrian Andrews. Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then.
Witness? What in the world are you...
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling.
I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this. However, I simply cannot let this point slide. I see. Very well, then. Witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is gonna take the wind right out of you youngins.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this, really. It's not like we're 10 years old.
Rada.
That odd god is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know that yet, okay?
The defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's above gossip. And is it their saying? The truth is never pleasant.
Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is, in fact, baseless gossip. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did hear ill will towards the victim. Bear ill will.
Yep. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right. Ungard is nothing but an average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you've gotta burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone.
I went to the danger zone.
All right, what do we got? All right, why is he evil?
How is he evil?
You
When is
can't
he
say
evil?
something like that without proof. That's just slander.
Where is he evil?
But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Miss A.A.
But the name of the magazine that this came from is Gossip Land.
What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies? What do you know?
Most of it is.
Yeah.
I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% truth. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright.
Discriminate? When did I do it? What?
Anyway, on guard will never get me to say touche.
What?
Should never get me to say touche.
But, okay. All right. Scandal. What do you mean by that?
You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
No. I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that on guard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
Alright. You don't have any proof that Mr. Ungard did any such thing.
You must be suffering from shock. The shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in much shock, you can't do anything right.
You're right. I can't do anything. But boy, do I wish I could do something about you.
All right then, Sonny. Show me what you got. Show me. Can you show me proof that On Guard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan?
I mean...
I don't know if we can prove that.
Yeah. I mean... He didn't really have a reason to, because... he won.
Yeah, as far as we know, he didn't really have a motive aside from they were heated, but he still won the contest. So I mean,
Right, but I don't really. Is this like what would I even show to do that? Yeah, I can't really think of any evidence that would appease her. So that's the murder scene. There's that.
Show me proof that and Ongar didn't bear any ill will. I mean, it's a well-known fact that they did have bad blood.
Yeah, so I think I'll decline the offer to present.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to offer.
See, just as I thought. And you were lecturing me about saying things without proof. You just gave me a free pass to say whatever I want, silly boy.
Me and my big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles for you, anyway.
So, what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you youngins need.
You were going to teach her a good lesson?
I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this.
Pow, pow, pow. No, stop!
Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Wait,
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how did you know this secret information?
Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it.
100%. Yeah, complete pair.
It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole in my brain, you'd never find out.
How in the world did that old bag get such a secret piece of information? Ooh, I can present evidence, press further, or wait and see. I don't really have evidence for the secret information. So I feel like pressing further might be the way to go.
Yeah, try pressing further.
If you don't be a good girl and tell me where you got this secret information, you won't get to go home today.
Edgy Poo, what are you doing? Help me.
What do I have to do with this?
Just do this for me. You'll get your reward.
I don't want your reward, but you don't leave me much of a choice. The witness could have gotten her information from anywhere. It's even possible that it was spontaneously made up inside the witness's head.
And he lectures me on reckless blabbering.
As long as we don't know where this information comes from, it's quite a waste of time to focus on this line of questioning.
Where did Old Bag get her inside information? There has to be something I can use to figure it out. Oh. I have an idea.
Because that was the last statement that you were pressing, right?
Yeah. Okay. Alright, so yeah, I have an idea, and hear me out.
Okay.
So, who's the other gossip monger?
Ooh, lot of heart.
And her camera's missing.
Yep.
What if she confiscated her camera?
Good point. That's a good point. Because a lot of heart might have gotten some juicy photos.
Yeah. Alright, so present evidence. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Old Bag?
Well, why are you looking at me like that? Stop that.
Witness! I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret information, isn't it?
The camera.
Yes. The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart.
Oh, yes, I remember that mischievous girl.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No. I said impressions.
Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless.
Ah, that's it. That's the note.
Oh boy, she has.
Ah. No! You see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy.
My top secret groceries to buy. Then, you are the one who took Miss Hart's note.
I'm a huge fan of wands, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil on guard. She said so herself. On guard! I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it was only a piece of paper, so I suppose we can overlook it just this once.
She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? No.
Pile on more pressure.
Yeah. If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness! You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can, that's all.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it!
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Miss Old Bag. I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night.
The camera.
Yep. Miss Old Bag, that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie $1,600 camera disappeared on me.
What? Witness?
What is it, Grams?
If you have the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera too.
Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
That's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you, and I fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
Yeah, photos. Exactly. Bailiff! Check the camera's photos. Hurry! We must examine them at once.
Ooh la la. Yeah, I want to know what's on this on that camera.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There is only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court.
Ooh.
This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you, that's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter.
Oh yeah?
I already see a problem with the picture, though. What does this all mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Ongard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that's the case, then this Nickel Samurai is...
Kind of short. Why are his pants dragging that much?
Exactly. The defendant. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I'll put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange with it. It's at a Dutch angle. There's something strange with this photo.
I knew that was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster.
Oh my.
Debunk with the bunker buster. Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
Yes. Anyway, please look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct?
Well, I have to find something wrong with the photo. I can only check a boy. Where the photo anyway? Burn! It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts?
Now then, let's hear your objection.
She was hiding, probably.
What about this photo is strange?
The footsies. The footsies right there.
Yeah, the footsies.
I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing out? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And what does that mean?
The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. On Guard.
What is the meaning of this?
I wonder if you would care to elaborate, with the actual facts, that is.
Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Yeah, you can see his feet.
Yep.
Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama.
His socks. You can see his socks.
Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant.
Wham, wham, wham.
Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time.
That's curious.
Huh? What is?
Edgeworth is unusually calm today.
That's true.
He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride.
Along for the ride? What do you mean by that?
I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all.
He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all?
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in the photo is not Matt on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
I figured it would come to this.
What?
Right. I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside the costume is not Matt on guard. In that case, who is it this photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think?
Yeah. Why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in the photograph?
If I had to take a guess, I'd have to say her.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid guess. She's much shorter than him.
Yeah, and she wanted to get out without getting recognized.
Yep. So, it's a good guess.
Yeah.
Adrian Andrews?
If you want to know who the Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman.
And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her?
For starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Onguard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Onguard that night.
And how does that all add up?
It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Onguard's fingerprints all over it.
The knife was used as a murder weapon.
Yep.
Why don't you just say what it is you want, right?
I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order in the court. Order, order. It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development.
Oop.
Right. Yes, Your Honor. This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
All right, this is it.
This is kind of bad for us.
Huh? What do you mean?
If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day.
One more day. Ah! If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya.
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court. Raise an objection.
Yeah. Now then.
Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today.
I can't do that. We must hear Miss Andrews' testimony.
I abhor wasting such valuable time.
Edgeworth?
Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial.
But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Tisk. Unexpected development. I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
And what do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan. Even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on.
What?
What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness.
Everything was planned out in advance by that man.
Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly.
Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth.
Jeez.
The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Wham.
I'm going to the swing set.
I love the swing set.
So this whole thing has been a farce up until now.
Yeah, Edgeworth has been planning this whole thing.
Dude, I can't believe that Adrian... No way. Not cool. And collected Adrian Andrews.
She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her.
So after the ceremony during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time.
See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama.
Because she was the one that came to wake me up. Then, dude, you're saying it really was her?
Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Corrida.
But why? I thought she was buds with Juan.
She has her own agenda.
Her own agenda? What are you talking about?
I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of the day.
Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer, dude?
Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right?
Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impacts as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note and the person thought to have hidden it.
Is Juan Corrida the victim of this murder?
And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida. All to get the suicide note back.
That sounds plausible, but one thing bothers me.
What?
Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impact's. It was Edgeworth.
Yep.
It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship.
So what's his end game then?
Don't let your guard down yet.
Because we wouldn't have gotten this far without him leading us, essentially.
Yep. He is steering the whole damn ship right now.
Yep.
Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please.
The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Corridor's room. She's still fiddling with that card.
Yeah.
What is your occupation? I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matongard.
I see. Now then.
Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request.
Yes, sure. What is it?
I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently.
No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland.
If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me.
Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself.
So, it was a fry and bait matter. Oh, was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing.
But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that, except for that dickhead over there.
Yep.
I think there's someone who would beg to differ.
I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews.
Very well then, witness. Please testify to the court. By the way, can you take Edgeworth from going forward?
Sure.
My voice is starting to get raw.
About what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place.
I was voicing 3 characters in the same room.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to.
Yep.
Like, luckily my job is literally hurling words at people now, so my voice has just gotten a lot stronger over time to where I'm just used to it.
Yep. I'm starting to reach for my water because my throat's getting tickly.
Yeah.
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was, naturally, the exact same scene that was in the crime photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
Why weren't your fingerprints on the glass?
Yeah?
You poured yourself a glass of juice.
Yes. Sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of the crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing.
Ah.
You didn't voice Edgeworth.
Oh, sorry. And that's when the fingy printies ended up on the glassy thing.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Phoenix, she is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match.
Yes, I know.
In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing.
Disrupt her pacing?
She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So, you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over, understand?
Okay.
Alrighty.
Alright, so first off, let's save, because we're in dangerous territory now.
Yeah.
And I want to check something. I want to look at the juice. Bears Andrew's fingerprints. Okay, so it was Adrian Andrews' fingerprints.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's why I wanted to double check. All right. Well, let's just start at the beginning and see what we get.
Sounds good to me.
And what was Mr. On Guard doing at the time?
He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his mini performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony.
Mr. On Guard did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room, yes?
Excuse me, what are you...
Right. I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then it'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. Onguard's knife from his room?
No.
Subject, verb, object. Right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue.
Damn. Okay.
But I wanted to ask about his costume, not his knife, you joke.
Yoink.
And why did you do that?
As a friendly gesture. Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes.
So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Alright, let's press further. Is that the only reason?
I beg your pardon. What are you implying?
You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim.
Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at the time.
I can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess. May we continue now? Witness, what did you see when you got to his room? So then I'd have to probably present something here. But I'll keep that in mind for now.
Yeah. Keep pressing.
You were in shock.
What? Was I not supposed to be?
Miss Andrews is a very calculating person, and despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings about Mr. Kurita. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
I see.
Edgeworth is answering the questions for her, though.
Yeah.
This is the photo you're referring to, correct?
Yes, the one with the knife lodged in his chest.
And the guitar case was like this, too?
Yes, it was open and empty, of course.
And then what did you do next, witness? Okay. Juice.
Yes, juice. There was a bottle of tomato juice on the table. I helped myself. Juice.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you?
Huh?
Yeah. There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. Why did you pour it if you didn't want to go in and drink it? You poured it and then set it down and you're like, oh.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it.
But you poured it because you felt terribly ill. Because you were sick to your stomach because you saw a dead body and you were going to go, Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more thing. When you discovered the body of Juan Kurita, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct?
And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time.
Your mind was a complete blank. I didn't think that was possible from you.
Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing.
What one thing?
Never mind. It's no big deal.
You can't say that in court. What was she starting to say just now? I'm pressing further.
Yeah.
Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I.
I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over.
So there wasn't a struggle.
Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass shards?
Yep.
It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case.
And that explains the water. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information?
I'm sorry, I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume that the vase was just another part of the mess.
Ooh.
It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony.
I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else.
Wait. I already know another contradiction.
Yeah, I didn't touch anything else. Bullshit.
The guitar case was closed.
Yeah.
The water was only on the outside, but if she said it was exactly like that, the guitar case was open, which means the water would have hit the inside.
Yeah. So that begs the question, was the guitar in there or not?
What kind of flower vase was it?
It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought it would try to take Juan's pulse. So I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser. And that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase.
That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself.
That's what she would like people to think. Anyways, be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality.
Doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now.
I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her to talk is to
Keep on the offensive and not let up.
The only way we're going to catch her is if we're very strong with decisive evidence.
I have to find something. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for Maya. For me.
This one.
This one. And then I present the guitar case. Yeah.
Yeah.
You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct?
Yes.
And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I said?
Yes. It's not some problem, it's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case would have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside.
Well, that's very true.
Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case.
And what is that?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shards would be inside, not outside the case. What is your point, right? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over. Is that all? No. Think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else.
Yes, that's right. She did explicitly say that she didn't touch the guitar case.
But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all. Bear.
Bears. I love bears.
That may very well be. However, the empty guitar case does seem to have no problem relating to the case, doesn't it?
It seems that there's no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. I can't believe I'm doing this either. But I gotta.
All right, I'll follow along. For now.
I love silly straws.
Yeah. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case.
Yes, Your Honor.
The guitar guys.
The guitar case.
Alright.
I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know.
Then allow me to start putting words in your mouth. You were looking for something. Perhaps a note. Oh.
I love the gestures you were
Yeah,
doing.
I wish we had a camera so people could see my finger waggles.
And your face.
yeah.
Because you were making some silly faces.
You were looking for the thing. Yep. Probably a suicide note, but that's going to come up later.
Yep.
It looks like this really wasn't a very important point.
This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using anyway to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man. Ouch.
Jeez.
He's laying it on thick now.
Yep.
Why were you dazed? That's not what I want to know about. So, you opened the guitar case then?
Yes, well, maybe.
Why did you open the guitar case?
Huh?
Mr. Corrida's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case. As the witness has said multiple times when she found the dead body, she was dazed. Dazed enough to pour herself a drink and then look through his shit?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it.
Why would she care about the bright red guitar?
But getting back on topic.
Why do you care?
It's not a big deal though, right?
It's a big deal! Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. These trials would be over in half the time if you would just pay attention.
Yeah, pay more attention, Mr. Wright.
Sorry!
That's why I opened the case, even I don't know.
I want to help with that. Was that because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body? Body.
Yes, that's probably it.
Oh. I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way I make her talk is with evidence. Guess I should give it a try.
Well, she says, as for why I opened the case, even I don't know. I think she was looking for the suicide.
Yep, that's what I was going to do. Alright. We are going to
The first one.
This one?
Was her suicide note hidden?
Yeah. And that was this. Okay. Hiya!
Okay, so that wasn't it.
This evidence clearly reveals that I don't know what I'm doing. Ha!
It certainly does.
Shit. Then what do, Bob? What do, Bob?
What's the bug?
But what do, Bob? It says the case was empty after all. Suppose I must have after. Maybe this is what I have to do.
I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over.
Well, that. I don't know one I'm looking for here.
Hmm.
During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind?
Well, you see.
Are you sure you are the one who opened the guitar case?
She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not.
Sounds like her dependent side is taking over.
Well, Miss Andrews?
Yes, it was me. I would say keep pressing stuff, because we haven't pressed everything.
I thought we did now.
Have we?
So, you opened the guitar case then.
Yes, well, maybe.
Why did you open the guitar case?
Huh?
Mr. Kurita's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? Okay, so he had done this one.
Yeah, because we've already been through this.
Why would you care about the bright red guitar? Maybe she was looking for the suicide note then?
No, I don't think that's it.
But why else would she open the note or the guitar case?
Well, I would think that when she says, like, as for why I opened it, even I don't know. That. I don't think that was it.
But I don't know what else I could go with. Also, her fingerprints aren't on the guitar case.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe I have to present the guitar case. So I suppose I must have...
But the point is, like, where do you present?
Here, where she says I must have opened the guitar case.
Maybe?
Yeah, let's save and let's try that. Because they keep hinting at this one, I think. Like, my gut's telling me to go here.
Alright, so you were right.
Ha ha! There's no way you are the one who opened the guitar case.
Why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I know who touched it with their fingies. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case were those of the victim.
Ah!
What is it, Miss Andrews?
You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case.
What do you mean?
What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time?
You left fingerprints on the glass!
Yep.
Gloves, but why would you be wearing gloves at the time?
It was the night of the award ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime.
That's strange.
Yeah, that's very strange.
You were wearing gloves. Isn't that a little strange?
Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time?
Yeah.
The wine glass.
Yeah, the wine glass. I have your proof right here. This wine glass of tomato juice that you poured for yourself.
A wine glass?
You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass that you set down at the scene of the crime. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you would put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case?
New glasses.
Well then. I wish I had glasses on demand like that.
Yeah, order, order. Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time.
What do you mean?
I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here.
But it's just an empty case.
I wonder if it really was empty, though.
Yeah, we just know that the guitar turned up later.
Yep.
But the guitar, the bright red guitar was at the studio.
Phoenix, drop all your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar.
You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either.
I admit, it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that, on the case,
Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us into it all into a misguided... No, Your Honor, please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in the photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. If you are so sure, right, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please, enlighten us as to why that guitar case has anything to do at all with this murder. Murder.
can you do that, Mr. Wright?
Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case.
The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar...
So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty. Is that right? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? The tomato juice. Pearly!
Pearly was in there.
She could fit.
Yeah, she could actually. She's small enough.
It was the outfit. It had to be the samurai outfit. So how did she get it?
That is a good question.
Because he was wearing it.
But, I mean, that would explain how she walked out.
Yeah, because she didn't go in as the samurai, and he was sleeping. So how did she get the outfit? It had to have been in the guitar case.
Yeah, I think you might be right, because, I mean, that does line up. She didn't go in dressed as that, but she left dressed as it.
Yeah. So I guess I would push the photo? Or would I push this photo? I think it's this photo.
I think you would push the photo of the Nickel Samurai.
Like this one.
No, the Nickel Samurai photo. Well...
Because this is them leaving, so...
I guess Lotta's photo would work.
Yeah.
We'll try it.
This is a photograph.
Yes, but what is important is what is in the picture, Your Honor.
In the picture.
It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I am proposing is... Inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. What? Ah! Gotcha, Edgy.
Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Right? Are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her own escape. After all, she couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? Yep. I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct?
You mean this in this photo?
Yeah.
Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we?
Nice job, Phoenix.
Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later.
Yep.
So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume.
Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt on guards. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places?
True. That is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was the Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case?
It was a spare costume.
It could be that.
Or
yeah.
it was stolen from on guard. Which,
Well, he was wearing it. People
Yeah.
saw him wearing it.
so I don't think it was stolen from him. So
It could have been a spare costume.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Mr. On guard did not take off his costume during the break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one. What?
Then are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel?
Yep. Yes, that is what I am saying.
And how do you explain the costume was inside the guitar case?
It would mean that the victim himself had brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose. And the reason that the guitar was at the studio was because that's when the costume, the spare, was taken from the studio and put into the case, and he unwittingly carried it with him.
But that begs the question: why would he do that?
He didn't know that the guitar was taken out.
Oh, somebody else did that.
Yeah, and she would have had access because she's a manager at the studio.
Ah, so she would have done the swap.
Yeah.
The victim, Mr. Corridor, was the the ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a perilous act?
And therein lies the sticking point. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, I just...
Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume?
Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you.
Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... Oh, wasn't it the confession thing, maybe? No.
No.
I thought I was going to have to answer a question, not present evidence. Oh, an article from the tabloid gossip land, maybe? Maybe he was worried about the gossip? No. What the hell?
Hang on. The reason the victim, because you said it before.
Yeah.
There was going to be a press conference,
Yeah.
and at the press conference, the Nickel Samurai was going to be in costume, and he was going to confess something.
Yeah.
He was not aware that that was even going to happen.
Yeah, so that means somebody else was going to do it.
So maybe that's it.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
Try presenting the ticket.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What is this?
On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference.
A press conference?
Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up right. But what struck me as strange was that Mr. On Guard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night.
But how could that be?
The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida himself.
The victim?
Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Corrida was going to hold that press conference as the Nickel Samurai.
He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference. But why would the victim do such a thing?
That's something I don't quite know yet, however. What I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Kurita, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt on guard.
Yes, I guess that is what it would mean.
But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure.
Miss Andrews?
I can see why you are pros at what you do.
Pardon me?
Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan.
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me.
Hey!
You!
Juan had bet everything on the Jamming Ninja that year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway.
Damn.
He was going to ruin him?
It looks like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
What? That's why he had that one moment of clarity. It's like, how much do you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he's hiding something.
Oh, yeah.
And do you know what this secret of Mr. On Guards is? Miss Andrews? Not Mr.
That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is.
Ah, I see.
I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all.
But protect Mr. On Guard.
And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
Okay.
From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him.
That doesn't make sense.
This does account for everything.
Well, I am the logical type.
That doesn't make any sense. That's not logical. You're not logical. You're not a logical type. You use bamboozling.
And how's it not logical?
So, you said the button and the knife.
Yeah.
Why would he need the button if he's strangled? He already dead. Why the button? If she's trying to protect Matt, why would she put button on him? The button stabbing happened after he was dead.
Yeah, that's fair.
It don't make sense.
Yeah, we're finally seeing her true self. She is more nervous than a scared rabbit.
If the defense can find no fault in this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling.
I can do it.
Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine, Mr. Wright.
Looks like somehow everything is swung to the opposite end of the scale again. Just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. I still want to know about that card. Alright, so first off, let's save.
Save it,
We're in dangerous territory. Also, what time is it even?
It's 9:20.
Okay, we still have some time.
Yeah.
Alright, so I have a feeling Matt was the murderer. Why? Why? Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you?
Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things.
3 things.
A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. And if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix.
I didn't do that at school, I remember.
May I continue now?
No. You didn't answer my question.
Yeah, answer my question.
So, would you say this need came from the press conference?
Yes. Do you know why Juan chose that event in that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt on guard.
Right, but why would he murder Juan if he didn't even know the press conference was happening?
Well, I think what it was is that, like, because she said earlier that Juan knew, like, some secret about On Guard that would ruin his career if anybody knew.
Right, but Matt on guard didn't know the press conference was even happening.
Right, but even if he didn't know, the secret would still get out there.
Right, but why would he kill Juan if he didn't know that Juan was going to reveal it?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I see your logic now.
Yeah. So his motive is gone.
Yeah. Because, yeah.
And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews?
Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume.
Why would you set up the conference to tank your client's, like, public image if you're trying to protect him? You make no sense!
Your logic is not logical.
But I'm sure Mr. On Guard himself didn't know anything about the press conference.
Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference?
Anyway, the important thing here is that this information was not in your testimony.
Yes, I agree. Miss Andrews, please correct the testimony, if you please.
Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright?
Darn right.
I know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove I'm right.
Okay, then tell us what it is. Has Mr. On Guard done something to hurt or betray you personally?
Why do you even ask?
You were the one who helped Mr. Kurita with his press conference. And that event was supposed to bring down Mr. On Guard, yet you still helped out. The person on trial right now is Mr. On Guard, right? What the witness was thinking helping the victim was with his plan is none of our concern. In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill. Why do I keep doing this to myself?
Didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder.
You checked up on him and said he was sleeping. But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. On Guard was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that that too was a lie so you could cover for Mr. On Guard?
I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time.
I keep trying, but I can find no flaws in what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people here in this courtroom, however.
You're just glaring straight at Mia.
He's glaring at you, Smarty.
You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage.
Then what about the button?
The button.
It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murder fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
That button was found in the pleats of Matt's Hakama, isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Looks like you are outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat.
Thank goodness Mia can still look at me.
With an icy stare, yes.
You can read my inner thoughts.
Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony.
All right. And how do you know that?
When the ends of the threads on the button of the costume were matched up. Oh, you're checking chat?
Yep. Yeah, and Bub's saying the same thing. The stabbing happened after the struggle. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
When the end of the threads on the button of the costume were matched up, they were found fit together perfectly, or so I heard.
I've heard that before too. But why would Miss Andrews know about this case down to such a fine detail?
Don't look at me like that, just because I'm prepared and you are not.
I thought I had her this time for sure. If there's anything to trip her up here, it has to be here. But where and what?
So, that statement has something.
Yeah.
The button was torn off
Right.
of Juan during his fight
Which
with Matt.
means we... Yeah, the
Yeah,
autopsy
The autopsy report.
was strangled and then stabbed. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by scarf.
Strangulation?
The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
And what does that mean?
Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off of the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly, which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body. Body.
Order! What is the meaning of...
What is the meaning of this right? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? Spare change. Nobody carries it around anymore. Vending machines are useless until they put credit card readers on them.
Why? Why is spare change so useless?
Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know this button was not torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, does this mean that you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it?
It was a memento. To pin the crime on Engard, yeah.
Yeah, that one too.
There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There's no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. On Guard was set up. By the real killer, of course.
And the real murderer is? Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then?
The killer! Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point.
Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end.
The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard is...
Profiles. And...
the Lion Man.
Lion Man!
see.
Old Bag.
Old Bag did it.
It had to have been her. That's where it's leading me, but for some reason I'm second guessing it.
Yeah. But that's where it's leading us.
Yeah.
That seems like the most
Like,
logical conclusion.
why would she intentionally tank her client's reputation? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her whole argument is full of holes.
Yeah. Miss Adrian Andrews, I choose you.
Pokeball, go!
Go! You are Mr. Corrida's killer.
What?
Hey, Bagu.
Hey!
Order! Order, Mr. Wright! This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your claims?
Any evidence? All the evidence points to Miss Andrews.
preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me.
I can't, can I? Would you care to test me?
Then what about this knife?
The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. The only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you.
Tisk. Then what about the button that was found in Mat's Hakama?
This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there is no way he could have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. Her poor glasses.
She's got a lot of glasses.
She really does. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. On Guard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him from his nap, which is you yet again, Miss Andrews.
I see. What about the empty guitar case?
That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews.
No,
But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. Oh shit, that's a good point.
Yeah, that is a good point.
And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at that time.
That's right.
That's because she did not intend on leaving any fingerprints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposefully left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. And to top it all off, there's this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth could believe this nickel samurai was Mr. On Guard. He would be too short for him to own his costume if it was him. Yep. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not?
Please, stop.
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time.
Miss Andrews? I refuse to testify.
What was that?
There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination. By allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves.
What?
Yeah, Phoenix, you should know that.
Pleading the fifth? It's not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room. Ooh. Adrian Andrews.
Yes?
Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood?
All right.
That's it. That's when Franziska planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things look bad.
You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix, but there's still one thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't done? What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence.
What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you have proven is circumstantial. Circumstantial? Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Corrida.
Wham, wham, wham. Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corrida?
I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But, Miss Andrews, if you did that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
Maybe so, or maybe not. There is nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence.
No! She's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia, what should we do?
Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation.
I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time.
Miss Andrews has refused to
Testify. And the defense's theory that she is an actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof.
But that's not true.
In this situation, there is only one thing this court can do, and that is to declare a recess.
What, recess?
I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial...
Tomorrow? We don't have a tomorrow. We don't get a not guilty verdict today, then. Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue the trial. What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya.
But it is impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is...
It is not impossible for this trial to continue.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you...
It's true Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation was something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony.
Yes, that's very true, but...
Actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrews. When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice.
Yes, and?
I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice.
So my actions were unusual, but I've already...
Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect.
Testify?
Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness.
I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
He's playing his own game.
The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please.
I did notice that when Phoenix mentioned, like, you know, if we don't get a not guilty, then Maya, like, he noticed that he said that.
Yep.
And that was when Edgeworth butted in and decided to keep the trial going. So I think Edgeworth is catching on like, wait, something's wrong.
Yep.
You know?
That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, he thought that he was... The thought that he was dead didn't even cross my mind.
Because he wouldn't have had the knife in him, he would have just been strangled.
To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over.
Ah.
So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony?
I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial.
Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left.
I know. Edgeworth, what in the heck is going on in that brain of yours? All right, we can begin our cross-examination.
All right. Glass of juice, I didn't really pour myself.
All right, so let's get a fresh save. We made good progress.
Yep. When I walked into the room, I saw it in that messy state.
Messy state, you mean there's like a bazillion bears?
Yeah, a lot of bears. And one, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner.
Let's start there. Slumped over.
Yes, he was just sitting there with his head tilted forward, eyes closed. He really looked like he was sleeping.
Is it just me, or did that right there sound a little odd?
When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind.
Then what did cross your mind?
I thought maybe he had smashed everything up in anger because he lost the Grand Prix. And then felt tired after his rampage, so he decided to take a nap. Anyways, that's what I thought.
I see. So you didn't think he was dead at all?
To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice.
Yeah, why would they slumped over and tired looking?
Wait. There's no way.
What?
There's no way she would have just thought he was sleeping. Like, who would walk in that room and think he's just sleeping?
Yeah, well, I mean, the knife wouldn't be there. The vase wouldn't be broken. The guitar case would have been closed. There was just maybe makeup on the floor?
Let's see, because she would have planted the knife. So the knife wouldn't have been there.
Yeah, so he would have just been like that with the bandana around his neck. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I can see that she would think maybe he was sleeping.
I mean, I guess the story adds up?
But slumped over, tired looking in the corner.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
I just thought of something. So, our logic that we have right now is that the knife wasn't there, but you have to remember, we're thinking in the logic that she planted it.
Oh.
That still brings into the equation that she had the knife with her when she went into that room,
Right.
and she planted it on him
And got the
and
button.
walked out with the costume. So what Edgeworth's case is that the knife was already there when she walked in.
Right.
By that logic, there's no way that she would have looked at that scene and said, he's sleeping.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just thought of that.
That makes sense. But then how would we present...
I would say presenting the crime photo, probably, because,
It's the only thing I can think of.
I mean, because I think you would explain it to the court well enough of just like, look at this scene,
Yeah.
and tell me that you would walk in and think this man was sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go for it.
I don't know if it's on that statement.
Okay. Yeah. Alright.
Yeah, be careful because you only have one more shot.
Yeah. I was just curious to see what
I would
happen.
save real quick, just to be sure.
Well, I already saved before I did that.
No, you're loading!
Yeah.
You're loading!
Yeah, I saved right before I did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you thought you
I
might
was
be
just
saving.
I was just curious what would happen if I did it there.
Alright, so one.
Yeah.
So go to the next one.
Yeah, look at this photograph. Yep.
Yeah, go to the next one. And the next one. When I saw him sitting there like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. Maybe this is where you have to present it.
Maybe.
Try it here.
Okay.
You might have just presented it on the wrong one.
Maybe.
There we
okay,
go.
it was the wrong one. Okay.
Yes. Because that's what makes sense to me.
Yeah. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him?
No, not at all.
Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body. Blech.
What is the meaning of this?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Corrida's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that there was a dead man.
Well, you see,
I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink.
your point is?
Miss Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly, that you are the real killer.
No!
Is she even strong enough to strangle Juan Corrida? Like,
It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt On God, is not guilty after all.
But that's impossible. You're wrong.
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt, I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan.
but you were the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing it so was that you might end up incriminating yourself.
That's because...
Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
I refuse to testify.
And there's no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt Angard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated.
Is it over? Have we found the truth at last?
What's wrong, Phoenix?
Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't.
Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt Angard.
Huh? Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time.
What?
The reason is quite simple. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. Ruh-roh.
The absolute real truth? What are you...
Witness, don't you understand yet?
Huh?
I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt On Guard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party.
That's a lie. I don't believe you.
What?
I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over and Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it?
I can't speak about it. I'm too scared.
It's Francisca von Karma.
Huh?
Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself.
And Francisca is a very headstrong individual, so she would probably latch on to her very quickly.
Yep.
Then right now, Miss Andrews is.
Yesterday she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Matt On Guard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now and is clinging on to them.
Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is get our not guilty. That is my only priority.
It wasn't me. I'm begging you. Please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Help. Please help. Someone help me.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor?
the court can't continue on like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do.
What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say?
Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime.
Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else it could be except the woman crying over there, right?
Come now, what will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
I feel like forcing her to testify would be the right move, because there's something not right about this.
Yeah,
Something's off.
but if we don't do that, then we might risk losing Maya. But we also know that Maya may have escaped on her own.
Well, think about this really carefully. Even if you were to save Maya, if you got that not guilty verdict and she went free with that not guilty verdict, if it happens that Andrews was innocent, would she even want to talk to you anymore?
Right. But that's not my job.
Right, but what's the right thing to do?
Oh, yeah. I know. It's a moral quandary.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would probably... Well, see, here's the other thing is, like, she specifically asked us to, like, can you keep this a secret? And now we're going to have to break that promise.
Right. Well, right now, what Edgeworth is doing, he's trying to get Andrews to say it herself.
Right. Admit it.
We're not trying to tell everybody about it. We're trying to tell Andrews, if you don't speak out about this now, if you really aren't guilty, if you keep silent, you will go to jail.
Right. So, yeah, I want to hear what she has to say.
Yeah, I agree.
I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that.
Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you are really hiding.
Mr. Wright, are you sure about what you're doing?
Sure, Mr. On Guard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. Is this... excuse me. Is this how you really want this trial to end? With me having slight indigestion?
Be quiet. How dare you? You're trying to trick me.
That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth.
You're wrong.
I can't help you if you don't testify.
What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this, however.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court.
Stop.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Oh, he's gonna tell them.
This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness.
What?
And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past.
Stop. Please stop.
No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here.
That's
the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide report.
What will you do now, witness? You know what I am about to do, don't you?
Wow, he's a jerk, but I understand why he's doing it.
Yeah, no, he's telling her, like, you need to talk
If you
now.
don't confront this now, it's going to haunt you forever.
Yep, and you're going to pay the price of somebody else's crime.
Yep.
I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews.
The secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world.
Please stop. I beg you. If people find out. If people find out, I'll...
If you're going to say you would choose death, that is no concern to me.
Edgeworth,
how can you be so cold? However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips. No matter what I have to do. Dang. So, will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me.
I'll talk. But please, help me. Nothing matters anymore.
Uh-oh.
When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted, honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure that there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume.
Inconvenience.
Stab the body with the knife? But why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man.
What do you mean by all this?
It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth.
The real killer is Matt. That scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Last time? So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim Juan Corrida in the chest with the knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime.
What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer?
No. Honestly, I don't think she's strong enough to even suffocate somebody to death.
Yeah.
Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination.
It's like a matter of physical strength, but also just her intent. Like, she's not that kind of person that would go about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
If she's so cold and calculated, she would have used something more like poison or something like that.
Yeah, she's that kind of person. Okay, well, let's start pressing.
Yep. But you could tell from the state of the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say you did not know he was dead?
He had a scarf tied around his neck. But that scarf is a part of the Jamin ninja's costume. So, I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice.
Okay, that makes sense. What is this plan you had?
I knew right away the murderer was Matt.
But you don't have proof of that.
I knew because Juan, he was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point into the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good.
But he didn't know that y'all were going to do that.
He claims that he didn't know. Though,
That's
so
true.
Yeah, that we only have his word right now.
That's true. Okay.
So we'll have to get proof.
Yeah.
That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin the crime on Matt.
So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button.
The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife.
Sure, there was no one in the hallway. I made a dash back to Matt's room.
That was so you could get the knife, correct?
The knife Matt used for dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him.
That doesn't make sense, though.
I mean, it would. I mean, if it has his fingerprints on it.
No,
that would...
she was in there, and then she left, and then she came back.
Well, yeah, she went to get the knife. Because she mentioned inconvenience. So probably what happened was she went, got the knife, went back, planted it on the body, and then when she was about to leave, that was when Lotta Hart was out there.
Right.
And so she wore the costume to leave, as well as Old Bag. She was out there too.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is both of them were around.
Right, but what she's saying is that the hallway was empty when she went to get the knife, but it wasn't when she was leaving that room again.
Right. But they would have seen her go in then.
Not if they weren't there.
But she saw them then. Or she knew they were out there.
No. Like, okay, like it could be that she heard them out there, like she heard a ruckus or something.
That's fair.
You know?
She needed a way to get out. Okay.
Yeah, she's explaining it. Matt was napping in his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. Push the last stick.
Oh, oops. Sorry.
Push everything.
So you were the one who stabbed the victim with that knife.
It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I use the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect.
So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it on Mr. Engard's Hakama.
Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they?
Nope. That's why you just don't do illegal stuff. Alright, what's this inconvenience? That's what I want to know about. And inconvenience.
There was a woman with a camera at the ready loitering in the hallway.
Ah, Lotta Hart. Willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta. Hi, Boomer.
Uh-oh, she's in play mode.
Uh-oh. Hi. Arr. Arr.
There's also a woman with a ray gun at the ready pacing back and forth.
You want to play with the moose? You want to let chat know what the moose sounds like? Ah!
Give me back my moose.
Okay, fine. You can have your moose back. You can go ahead and get that out of the way before she yomps it.
Mm-hmm.
Boomer, we're trying to play a game.
Yeah, we're almost done.
Thank you. Yeah, my moose. Brr. Hey, you want to play with this moose? Oh god, you're going to tilt over my mic.
Moose.
Alright, come over here.
Moose.
So both of them were in the hallway.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. That's Miss Old Bag for you.
I had already caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once. So I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume.
Okay. You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you?
Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it in Juan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony.
You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct?
Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there.
And what is this big secret?
That I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume.
Are you chewing on the... She's chewing on the...
Oh, don't chew on the TV tray.
that.
Don't chew on the TV tray. You need to play with me.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. There might be static.
Yeah, everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. Hopefully, like, Chad, is there any static at all, or is the audio still okay?
Boomer, what are you doing, you big goof? You big goof, you big attention hog, you.
All right, no static.
All
Good,
right.
all clear.
Here, take your phone, put the tablet up. Boomer, come over here, baby. No, over here.
Boomer!
Boomer, come over.
Boomer, come here.
Yeah, hop on up, girl.
Come on up. There you
Hey.
go. Now, lay down, baby. Thank you, ma'am. Now we can pet you.
There we go. Good girl.
That's a good girl. And that's why we got a 3-seat couch.
So that it's boomer ready.
Yep.
I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume.
You okay, Boomer?
My goodness.
Do you eat a fur ball again? That's what it kind of sounded like.
Oh, goodness. Silly boomer.
You big goof.
I think I've heard enough. So after all that, you went back to Mr. Angard's room and planted the button.
Into Matt's Hakama, yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it.
But she's making this whole assumption on the fact that Matt did this, which she didn't have any proof. She just jumped to that conclusion.
Yeah, I feel like it has something to do with this big secret
Yeah,
that made her convinced that it was Matt.
right.
My word. What does this all mean?
Boomer, I love you, baby. But I need you to stop pushing the TV tray.
If it gets your attention.
Come here. Come here. We'll pet you.
Yeah, we'll pet you, baby.
Just stay up here.
Oh, all right. She put her butthole on me.
Yeah, sit on Addison. He's fine. You big goof. Come on, down.
Come on, lay down, girl.
There you go.
There you go.
go.
Good girl.
Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Angard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk.
Franziska, huh?
She said that I should under no circumstance confess what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words.
What this witness has done is clearly unlawful.
Yep.
However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she's not the real killer.
Wait, Your Honor. The defense still... Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything.
Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright.
But...
Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning.
Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately.
That is all. Court is adjourned for today. Chair.
Today's trial. It's over. And I didn't win an acquittal.
Witness, would you mind if I asked you something?
Boomer, you're gonna fall off the couch if you keep going that way. Edgeworth?
What is it?
Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at that one thing, the card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now.
What exactly is it?
Oh, that's Edgeworth.
Oh, what exactly is it?
Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked me about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in the room on that day.
The room?
That day...
Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there right next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body?
I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if that card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right?
That's like an assassin's calling card. Yeah, I guess not. But it's still a strange card if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why.
Witness that card. Give it to me. Hurry.
Edgeworth?
Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? I can't believe you hid this from me all this time.
I didn't mean to. What is this all about?
I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. Except for when he got to be called Edgy Poo. That card, what in the world is it? What does it mean? Boop. To be continued. No!
Yep. And it is past 10 o'clock, my friend.
Alright.
So save your game. We must wrap up.
Alright. I'm guessing there's room for or time for another stream.
Oh, yeah. No, this is going into another stream for sure. I knew we wouldn't finish it tonight.
Really?
Yeah, no. I imagine we might finish it next time.
Mm-hmm.
We might wrap it. We might. We'll have to see. But one thing's for sure. It ain't over yet.
Yeah?
Right, Boomer.
How you doing, baby? Oh, you're about to fall off.
There she goes.
All right.
Yep, cliffhanger. Yeah, no, that's...
Well, shit. Now I want to know what happened and what... like, it's going to loop back on to The Killer.
Oh, yeah. No, the killer is a bigger part. And, I mean, you pretty much already called it. He's an assassin. I mean, it's in his name, and that is his calling card.
Yeah.
And Edgeworth knows about it, and that's why he got so upset. He was just like, you removed that from the crime scene, and now nobody understands that it was an assassin.
Right. But here's the thing I don't know. Is the killer tied to Francisco?
So, I think what we can conclude so far is that the actual murder was done by an assassin.
Right.
Okay?
Which
So,
I believe they're heavy-handedly implying is the one that took Maya.
yes.
Yeah.
So,
The thing I want to know is the killer, who definitely seems like a foreigner, like a European, because Francisca's from Germany, are they related somehow?
I don't know.
Like, was Francisca so adamant about getting a win on Phoenix Wright that she would go this far?
I guess we'll have to see. Like, I mean, she is a Von Karma, so I mean, you know,
The possibility is there.
Her father committed a murder because of his perfect record
Right.
getting tarnished.
But is she
So the
willing
possibility's
to
there.
go that far?
Yeah, that's the question. Is Francisca herself willing to go that far?
Yeah, and that's what I want to know.
So this is going to be a very interesting trial going forward because
Yeah.
now it's no longer a question of who committed the murder, because we know for sure that Andrews didn't do it, and we know for sure that Ongard didn't commit the murder either.
Yeah.
So,
But we also need to know, what did Matt do that people believe would cause him to want to murder Juan?
right, and that also begs the question: why did this assassin kill Juan in the first place?
And why did that one lady commit suicide?
All these questions and more next time.
Damn it. I want to know. All right, fine. Well, I guess we should let people know what's up for next week.
Yeah, so just to let everybody know, I must sadly report that this will be the final stream of the year.
Yep. I'm going on vacation.
Yep, so we will not be back for streams again until the new year has begun.
Yep.
And when the new year has begun, we will be back to finish this. And Baku, I'm going to be on your butt to try and get that multi-world randomizer going again.
Yeah, you need to join us for one of those.
You still have to join us for one of those. And you have been saying that you want to and you will. And you told me that after the holidays you would be more open to it. So after the holidays are over, I'm going to be contacting you. So you better be ready if you're still in chat.
So yeah, next week, me and Taylor will be out of town, so we won't be able to stream then. It is our 5-year delayed honeymoon, pretty much.
Yeah, you're
'Cause-
finally going on your
Yeah,
honeymoon.
we got married, and then Harvey hit, and we weren't able to like celebrate us getting married until now. Finally, when we have time and money.
Yeah.
Yeah, fixing up a house after an event like that sucks ass.
Yeah, it really does.
But hey, we're finally getting a chance to do something like that. So yay.
Woo!
But other than that, afterwards then is Christmas week, and it's, Christmas week, so we don't want to stream on that because everybody's going to be with their family.
Exactly. So, yeah, we want to make sure that you have your time to go on your vacation, and we also don't want to stream on Christmas and New Year's week,
Yep.
as he just said. So,
Because I'm going to be flat ass drunk on New Year's, just letting y'all know. It's been a good year. I need to celebrate.
honestly, I can't complain about this year either.
Yeah.
It's been a really good year, and you know what? I think you already know what the highlight of my year was.
Yeah.
And there's a certain someone in chat right now who knows exactly what that highlight was.
Yeah.
So,
It was the Appa pillar, right?
Baku's like, no, I have no idea. So, but anyway, we all hope you have a wonderful evening tonight.
Yeah. Enjoy the holidays.
Yeah, enjoy your holidays. Enjoy a fun Christmas or whatever holiday that you celebrate. And enjoy a fun New Year's, because I know I'm going to get drunk on New Year's too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have fun on New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. So, have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for another amazing year of Rogues and Role Players. We will see you next year for more. And until then, I do believe actually Baku I think he has a couple of streams planned for next week, because I think he was planning some Munchkin.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah. So I'll probably be joining him on his Munchkin stream.
Yeah, because I know somebody gifted that to me.
Yeah, because there's the new Munchkin digital game that we want to
Yeah,
play.
let me know what day that is.
Yeah, which I think you and TC will be on vacation when that stream happens, because I think it's a Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So unfortunately, but we will be doing that again whenever you're around.
Gotcha.
So, but anyway, have a wonderful night, wonderful Christmas, wonderful New Year's, all that stuff. We'll see y'all next year.
Yeah. Feels weird saying it's like the end of the year. I don't know why.
It doesn't feel like the year, like it feels like the year just kind of flew by like really fast.
Yeah, like it feels like it should still be like October.
Right? Yeah. October feels like it was like just last week,
Yeah, because like I was talking with TC earlier, and like there was just like, wait, that happened this year?
Yeah.
like looking back at it now, it's just like, wait, that was this year?
Yeah, no, I get it. It's like the year feels like it went by so fast, but then I remember things that happened this year, and I'm just like, wait, that was this year.
And it feels so far away.
Because thinking back to the fact that Elden Ring came out this year, and all of us were going crazy about it, and I was like, wait,
Yeah, that feels like a distant memory now.
yeah, that feels like a distant memory, and I'm just like, that was this year.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it feels like the year just flew by.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
It's weird.
It's a weird time.
But anyway, have a wonderful New Year's, and we shall see you in the recurring year, the annual celebration of the next year of time.
Yes. That one.
If you aren't there, then we will have the police search for you.
so that we can get you back here to watch more streams.
Yeah, that's why we're going to call the police. Hello, username
Blah 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 is not.
XX Biggie McGee 23 hasn't showed up for a week.
He hasn't been in chat for a week. We need you to find him and get him back in the chat.
I wonder if anybody's done that.
You haven't been here for a week. I'm calling the police to make sure you're okay.
Like, I don't know why I feel like that, like, legit somebody has done that.
It sounds like something that some crazy person at some point would do.
Jeez.
Oh, God. Well, have a wonderful night and holiday, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us.
Eggnog.